Hey roamers, I'm Jamie.
I'm Linda.
And this is Roaming with Rosie.
And today we're in Boulder, Colorado. Most of the time, we look for public campgrounds as our first choice. These would be state, county, and city parks with hookups. Often they are more spacious, provide natural surroundings, and are less expensive. But Colorado, especially Denver and the surrounding areas, are an exception to this. Upwards of $70 per night. And the few that are less expensive are very difficult to get a reservation at, especially if your stay is through a weekend. We were just looking for a place to sleep and to be able to run our air conditioning systems as there was a heat wave. And this led us to the Boulder County Fairgrounds. It's first come, first serve, but I called there, and since there was nothing big on the schedule for the fairground on those days, they said I would easily find a spot if we came in earlier in the day. We were very close to our neighbors, but we had very good power for our AC. A no hookup site is just $15 a night. Or you can choose an electric or a water hookup site for $20 per night, or both for $25 per night. And the water is only available seasonally. They have a dump station, and the fee to use that is $10 unless you're camping there. It's closed from November 22nd to the 27th. Even though the RV park itself is cramped, the fairgrounds, which we were free to roam as there was no event taking place, had some room to spread out. They have a really nice trail where you can picnic or fish, and the Boulder County Fairgrounds is also home to an Osprey couple. This is Cattail Pond. I guess there's fish in it. It says you can fish here. No bait restrictions. So many picnic areas here all over the fairgrounds, so especially if you're here when there is no event, it's just nice and quiet. The birds are amazing, and there's a nest here that they keep a webcam on. I'll put a link in the description for it. What are they? Osprey. So they've got, both of them are up there, both the parents right now. There are 2 cameras allowing for 24/7 viewing of the nest. The camera just above the nest provides a close-up view and a microphone to be able to hear what the birds are hearing. The other is a view from about 100 feet away, providing a long shot so you can have some perspective. There's quite a community that leaves comments and chats about this nesting pair that have been returning late each spring. Right now there is 1 fledgling in the nest. And it's July right now. There's still snow up there in the Rockies. So pretty here. This is just such a nice walk from the campsite. They also have a farmer's market on the fairgrounds on Saturday mornings from April to November. The Boulder County Fairgrounds are actually in Longmont. It's about 15 miles over to the actual city of Boulder. We met up with friends for dinner and a stroll through Boulder's always active downtown. There seems to be something always going on in the downtown Boulder area, so finding a parking space is a bit of a challenge, and thanks to technology, they've figured out a way to charge for parking pretty much everywhere here. The weather was typically unpredictable, catching us in a downpour, which really doesn't seem to deter anyone from here. Rainy night in Boulder, which would be fine, except it suddenly got cold, but it's still fun. What you got there, Jamie?
Oh, dessert.
What is it?
What was it called? Apple cinnamon
Something.
Caramel apple.
caramel apple.
He doesn't know, he's just eating it. A night of delicious food, including dessert with good friends, and the next day we decided we'd better hit the trails to burn some calories. Today we're in Boulder, Colorado, and we went out for a hike to see the Flatirons.
Right. And typical for us, whenever we go hiking in the summertime in a mountain town, we get most of the way out there and it starts to rain. And today was no exception. Yeah, we found a new career. We're going to be rainmakers.
So we wanted to hike all the way over to these Flatirons, which are totally awesome. It's a landmark here in Boulder. But we got over to the Vista area and took some video, and we'll share that with you. Definitely an easy hike, except for a couple of uphill parts. But the other reason we picked it is because it's gravel, and we knew if it did rain, or if it rained, which it did overnight, it wouldn't be muddy, which it was good. We'll share some of what we got with you. I won't look at it. Huh. Just a little bit farther on the Dowdy Draw Trail, just because we want to see down in the valley here in front of the Flatirons. We're encountering rain right now as we head onto the Dowdy Trail from the Flatiron North Vista Trail. We just kind of wanted to go down into this valley a little bit, but now it's starting to rain. We'll see. When I've got the GoPro out of its mod case, that's where you can attach microphones and stuff, it's pretty water resistant, so I'm not too worried about the camera, except for that there's might be drops on the lens. Right now the rain feels good. From Boulder County Fairgrounds to Estes Park, home of Rocky Mountain National Park, is just 33 miles. Entrance to Rocky Mountain National Park is by appointment most days, so we'll have to see the park on a different trip. The elk pretty much rule Estes Park. It's almost comedic watching them run up the road or dine on the newly leafed out trees without regard to cars or people. But we still kept our distance while we enjoyed the show. Our destination today is the famous Stanley Hotel. Jamie at one time did some ghost hunting, and he's also a movie guy, so the Stanley is one of the places on his bucket list. The history of the hotel, which opened in 1909, is interesting. In the main lobby, you'll find a perfectly restored Stanley steamer car. The owner of the Stanley Motor Carriage Company built the hotel. It was a long trek up here, so they designed steam wagons, which were built nearby to bring guests up to the hotel where many upper-class folk would spend the summer. It was also a place where tuberculosis patients, or consumptives as the disease was called then, like Mr. Stanley, came for the most recommended treatment of the day, to breathe clean, dry air. And it must have worked because he lived to be 91. The Stanley Hotel was said by Stephen King to be the influence for the 1977 novel The Shining. He was inspired after a night spent drinking with a bartender named Grady just before the hotel was open for the season. Similar to the book, there was hardly anyone there except for them. The original motion picture was not filmed here, and the final movie doesn't follow the novel completely. So Stephen King later did his own TV miniseries adaptation of the novel, which was filmed here in 1997. One paranormal experience is said to have happened here during the filming of the movie Dumb and Dumber. The story goes that one of its stars, Jim Carrey, was staying here, and one night, in the middle of the night, he ran out of his room, left the hotel, refused to return, and to this day won't talk about it. We chose to take one of the many tours offered to learn more about it. Unfortunately, video cameras are strictly prohibited during the tours, but we were able to take some photos. There's also a magic show, musical entertainment, and the tours do include some ghost hunting choices. Even if you don't come up for any of that, it's a beautiful spot to take in the scenery and enjoy a meal at their restaurant. After the Stanley, we drove over to the Riverwalk area to enjoy more of the beautiful weather. This part of the Riverwalk is about 1 mile long and offers free parking and lots of interesting things to see and do, as well as boutique shops and small restaurants that open onto the Thompson River. Is that enough? You drown yourself? No, it's not enough. If you've followed Roaming with Rosie, then you know we love to share public art that we find in places that we visit. Nearby the county fairgrounds is the city of Longmont. Many of the murals are located in the Longmont Creative District, and it was easy to find online maps to help us find them. were lucky enough to live near a Winchell's Donut House in the 80s, then you remember the craving.
75 cents off any dozen donuts.
No, you don't mean any dozen, Norma.
Any dozen, Ralph.
Oh, look at those chocolate ones.
Oh, and the apple fritters.
Oh, no, not the lemon. 75 cents off the lemon?
Any dozen, Ralph.
They stop at nothing, Norma.
I know, Ralph. Here's the car keys.
We spotted this one from down the street in Longmont and headed over, mouths watering the whole way. So, imagine our disappointment to find it closed down. It's been trying to reopen since 2021, and we send get well soon wishes to the owners and the people of Longmont. Thanks for watching this episode of Roaming with Rosie. If this content was valuable for you, the best thing you can do to help more people see our videos is to hit that like button, join the conversation by leaving a comment, and share our content with friends and family.
Hey roamers, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Roaming with Rosie. For more information regarding this video, please check out the links in the video description below,
as well as products and equipment we use and recommend. We sometimes do receive a small commission when you use our links for purchases, which is a great way at no additional cost to you to help offset some of our production costs. Thank you so much for watching and sharing our videos and subscribing to Roaming with Rosie. We'd love to hear from you and encourage your comments and questions. Until next time, see ya.